Welcome to the Dish with Skirt event sponsored by Skirt Magazine. My name is Jessica Lee Libos. I'm the editor of Skirt Magazine here in Savannah and Hilton Head Island. So welcome. Today we are presenting Dan Marino. He is from Pizza Rustica on Bull Street, fabulous pizza, but he's not making pizza today. He's making Italian cheesecake, and it's going to be awesome. You will notice that he's hiding behind the counter here, but he is wearing a skirt. And of course, Skirt every month features a man in our magazine wearing a skirt, so we wanted to keep that theme going. Welcome, enjoy, thanks so much. Stop by the Skirt booth. We've got lots of giveaways and of course magazines for y'all to read, so take it away, Dan.
More importantly, stop by Pizza Rustica to get something to eat. I'm going to make an Italian cheesecake with ricotta cheese. And I had a buzzing in my ear. It's a traditional Italian cheesecake. I leave one thing out, the candied fruit. Just can't stand that stuff in my cheesecake. And it's really, really simple. People are afraid to make cheesecake. I think Italian cheesecake is probably easier than regular cheesecake. You always have to put it in a bath so it'll cook evenly and it won't crack on the top. So you always have to put foil around this, so just in case you get any leakage, you don't want water in to come into the cheesecake and have it get soggy. The best part of making a cake is a lot of the ingredients are very inexpensive. For my crust, I use regular breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs. You know, it's funny because Italian cooking is really, I don't want to say peasant cooking, but it's whatever they had in the area in that season, and that's what they cook with, and they don't waste anything. And bread was a thing that went to a lot of recipes because if they had stale bread, they'd find a way to use it. About 3/4 cup of sugar. You actually need the sugar in there. It helps bind the breadcrumbs and the butter. You do about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. You might have to add a little more, a little less, depending on how liquidy the mix is. I used to live by Venero's in Manhattan, which is probably one of the best pastry shops in the city. And they taught me how to make it, and then I came back down. With the cheesecake, I always like to mix each ingredient individually and combine it so you really get it to mix well. And I usually don't use a mixer, I always do everything by hand. I had a boss, I actually learned how to cook from my mother and my grandmother, and I would cook in different restaurants, and I had this one boss that everything we had to do had to be by hand. You can actually start doing other things with this. I would do a key lime cheesecake, where I'd put limes in here and then key lime juice. Comes out really, really good. Traditionally, it's just orange and lemons, but you can bake anything you want out of it. I put the one I made for the pizzeria the other day had strawberries and raspberries and chocolate, and then the other one I did had white chocolate swirled into it and then caramel on the top. So you can make anything you want. You can taste any way you want. You can make the same basic cheesecake recipe and just make stuff to put on the top that'll change it. And people are always, their problem is they overcook cheesecake. What'll happen is the cheesecake, after an hour, will most likely be done. And you want it to wiggle in the middle. You shake the pan and you'll see it almost like Jell-O. When it's like that, you know it's ready. You take it out of the oven, you let it sit. I like to let it sit overnight, and that it stays fluffy and it's not dry. And that's the most common mistake people do with cheesecake. You fill it up about, we'll go halfway up the cheesecake. Yeah, don't fill it too much because then it'll be hard to get in and out. Person that asked about the chocolate, depending how much chocolate you like in a cheesecake, you put more or less.
How is it?
Instead
is
of
it
going
good?
through the pizza, goes out the
Is
side.
it good? All right.
For like the last 3 minutes.
Everybody, I'm documenting.
Put the
Is
pizza
it
on
good?
the stone without the screen.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah. How was it?
It was great.
I think that went really well.
It was fun.
It was delicious.
Well,
It was
thanks.
good. Are you comfortable in this? Is this a good? This is a good look for you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wear this to work today.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Check the blog. I'm gonna put this on there. Thank you so much, Dan. Dish with Skirt. All right.
Thanks, Skirt Magazine.